Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Endzone 2. I know this looks like a brand new settlement, but trust me, it isn't. We have completely demolished Newtown, and all we are left with is this large stack of upgraded material depots, which I need to make sure that I have enough resources to rebuild everything. So, taking everything that I've kind of learned over the last few months of playing the game, even though it's not finished, it's not being worked on, so that's tough, and there's nothing we can really do about that unless they sell things to other companies and somebody picks it up. We are going to take everything we know and rebuild, because every settlement needs to be streamlined before we expand into Zone 3. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in my water and food so that the 300 plus settlers that I have are not going to die, and we are going to keep a hold of all of the water stores that we currently have. And to do that, we need depots and we need to put in some jetties. So we have upgraded jetties. We are going to put one here. We're going to put another one here. We can't fit that one in for some reason. Let's have a look again. Upgraded jetty. Ah, yes. Okay, I see now. Then I guess we can bring this one forward. Can we bring that one forward as well? I'd quite like a bit of uniformity, so bringing them all a little bit further forward will be very useful. Yes, we can. Good. We can put them along here. So one there, 2, 3, and I can't get a fourth one in, but there's 3 there. Let's go to logistics. We are then going to supplement this with 2 water towers on either side. So we'll put one here, and then we'll get another one. Yeah, it does eat into that farmland a little bit, but I'm not really using that at this moment in time. And both of them are in range, and we get a nice little boost to that there. So I'm then going to load this up with a brick road coming all the way to here, and then it's going to go up to there. And we'll leave it as it is for now. Then I want this little pathway to come all the way down to here and link up with the rest of the settlement. There we have it. Right, now, the main issue that we had in this settlement was with this clay pit being so close to our residential area, if we were going to make bricks, it would be an issue. So I'm going to put this in now. We want to put in, first things first, the mine, which is the clay pit, and it is in range being right over here. So we can place that clay pit quite far away from our town. I wonder if we can actually change. No, it's got to be on the resource deposit. So let's put it here. It interferes with the farmland a little bit, but it should be far enough away that when I put the actual refinery next to it, the brickworks, it doesn't cause a pollution issue. So if we now go to our trades and crafts and we find the brickworks here, they do cause pollution, but if they go here, they're going to be out of the way. And we can put that next to some clay production and coal production. It can actually go in that space there where the town centre would normally be. So maybe we put it there. We can even put it further afield, actually. Put it right there. Then if I want to put some more housing in, it's still in range. So we'll wait for the clay pit to build. Shouldn't take long. And then we're going to build some housing. I'm just going to slow things down a second. We are going to build houses, actual houses. So we want to build on the edge here. 1, 2. We had 7 last time. So I'm going to go to here. 3, 4. 5. And another one down here makes 6, 7, 8. So they have a nearby market or town centre. And then we're going to add in some shelters here. So 1 there and 1 there. 1 there and 1 there. That is all of our housing. Now we're going to look at community buildings because we want these to be in range, and the school, as you can see, is in range of everything there. It's also in range of just about everything there, but not quite. So we'll put the school right there so it does cover everything. Then we are going to put in the campfire. Now the campfire also has a fairly sizable range, but it doesn't quite hit those spaces at the back. So the campfire will go somewhere else for now. We'll have a look at the pavilion, because the pavilion is quite small. So I'm going to put 2 pavilions in here. We'll put one at the back here, like there. Yeah, I think that's good. Can the campfire then go on this side as well? Yes, good. Right, so we'll stick the campfire there. And then we can also place in the bathhouse there, I guess. We'll put our bathhouse there. Then we're just going to link all of this up with a road, just so we can box it in like that. And then another one here. Perfect. So they have a bathhouse now and the other stuff that they need. They'd also like a coffee shop, of course. Now, as we go further afield over here, the coffee shop, the area of effect for that drops down quite substantially. But I will put the coffee shop in regardless. We'll then put in the bar. There. And then lastly, they want a park, which can go right here. Perfect. And I think also a wishing tree, but the wishing tree for now we'll leave because it's not going to cover it. So we're going to need 2 of those. Then again, with a road coming in here all the way up to there and there. So we've got a load of community buildings there. We've got our houses built. Nobody currently working in the clay pit. Nobody currently working in the school, but the school does have a really nice wide range of effect. And if we look here, we can also see what we're missing. So they're missing medical care, which is fine. We will build our hospital, which has a larger range of effect compared to the pharmacy. I think they do still distribute drugs and stuff, so that should be good. Now, the houses do need electricity, and we do have plenty of electricity. You can see everybody now has a home. But water and food is our next problem. We don't currently have anybody working in the upgraded jetties, so we're going to put some people to work now. And you should see our water stores start to go up eventually. There we go. Right, we now have water coming in and we have a surplus that we will start to generate. That is very good. Looking at these houses here then, you can see they don't have access to medical care, even though this is now... Oh, it's not quite finished yet. But over in this house here, they have access to school, or they will have when somebody is working in it. So let's put someone to work in it. They will eventually have access to a school. They don't have the wishing tree, they don't have a statue, and they don't have medical care. But food is what we're going to need to do now. So let's have a look at where we can put that in. Looking at food, we can put a fishery in right here somewhere, surely. We just have a quick look. I think that one will fit in quite nicely. And then further along to here, wonder if actually we can just put this one here and then move this back a little bit. Yes, we can. So we've got 2 fisheries there. We can probably fit another one here. Can we fit more in, though? I want to see if we can just get this nice and uniform. I reckon if we go there and then come along a little bit further to there, we can now wrap a road all the way around that and give it an upgraded food depot. So this one actually fits in all 4 of our food producing buildings. So we can actually put it right on the edge there. And then when they are in range, that will be done. So we can now pretty much lock down this little production area, going all the way around to here, and then coming in and linking up with the rest of the settlement there. Now, this is also going to be a farm. So let's go to food again and an upgraded farm, which can go right there. It is near water production. So again, we'll change the area of effect on the farm so that it goes over to that area there. Speed things up. Hopefully these jetties, these fisheries will be constructed very quickly because we've just run out of food and people are now hungry. That one's done. People go to work. We will start producing food. More there. And another one here. And another one here. So we are making food, but we are still not making enough. Our turnover is 104 per minute, 145 per minute. So let's get some farmers in. Change our seed to a tier 3, the lupine. And then we will plant a load of those in here. Takes us up to 89 and that is 100, and as you can see we are now making 117 food per minute and solved the food issues. Good. Right, so we're going to just finish off putting this in here. That takes us up to 96, and then probably a little bit of left over there, taking us up to 100. Perfect. So we have our farm, we are making food, we are making water, people are fine, and we only have 59 corpses to deal with, but that's okay for now. Then looking over here, we have medical care, still not quite at that spot yet. We do have medicine in there, so I'm not quite sure why it's not telling me that there's access to medical care. I wonder if, let's actually demolish this. That only really seems to be needed if we have an illness. So if I put the pharmacy in here instead, you'll see that the pharmacy does have a range that covers everything there, apart from that last one on the edge. So our pharmacy could maybe move into this space here, and it's going to be in range of everyone, but it would mean moving that shelter. I don't really want to do that. Wonder if, actually, rather than having all of our buildings on the outskirts there, we have them kind of in the middle, so that this is accessible still. You can see here there's no influence from a school, nothing from electricity, wishing tree. We've got the bathhouse and stuff. Maybe that's what we need to do. So again, I think we need to make some settlers homeless. Sacrifice a bit of the farmland that we have, and then we will change the houses a little bit. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll come back. Just going to do a little bit of rearranging here. Okay, so we've done that, and we're left with a nice population here. We're pushing 400 settlers altogether. We've got 326 adults, 90 children, so we're over 400. And you can see we have 4 shelters and 7 houses, as well as this large restored house over here. What I am going to do is I'm going to hook this up with power now so I can start mapping that out. So we are definitely going to have a long road that goes out of town here, so that can all link up nicely there. That is done. Then we're going to come in here with our power. We are going to start bringing some electricity poles. Now these can just go on the edges and they follow the road basically. So as long as we have a nice long stretch of these, they will all link up quite nicely. This is something that I've discovered, you know, from trial and error. And as long as we have these placed in, we're going to have a nice little route of power going right the way around the settlement, and they can just follow the roads. They don't need to be mapped weirdly through everything, and getting power to these houses will give us a nice little boost of happiness to our settlers. So again, these will come up to the edges of the streets here, just going on those corner points, and everybody will be happy, and we'll be able to boost the efficiency of some of our production buildings. So that's going to come around to there. That will go to there. And you can see it's all starting to link up once they are completed. That comes in. And I think that is everything now linked up with power. We'll come out to here where the clay pit is, and then carry on further along. Round the corner here. We're just linking everything up with power. All the way around. That everything has a source. And that is our basic settlement complete, really. We have water, we have food, we have living spaces, and now we can start looking at the resources that we want to produce here in Newtown. So what we had previously was a lot of farming and a lot of like plantation based stuff, so that's what we're going to focus on to begin with. Now down here it's a little bit unorthodox and not quite what I wanted to do, but I can fit in a plantation just in here next to this house, so that's what we're going to do. We'll stick a plantation down here just to fill in as much of the farming space as possible. Once that's constructed, this is going to start producing cannabis because it doesn't need anything else nearby, and we can actually place that down, start growing it, and there'll be a lovely smell wafting over the community once that's complete, but at least it's done. So if we have a look here, if we look at fiber doesn't need to be near anything, but further construction buildings do need to be near it. Same with natural latex and hops. Cannabis is the only one that doesn't really require anything. Beer production and stuff needs hops. If we have a look over at our pub here, Doesn't actually need to be any near to anything, so that's okay. This plantation is almost complete, so we'll just quickly speed that up. And there we have it. Right, so we're going to change the seed to cannabis. That will then go into our coffee shop. So let's plant that up, and we'll put a little row there. And then another row that comes up to here. Wonder if I just change this area a little bit there, then we can finish off filling these in. I think one more row should do us. 99, we'll put an extra one there, and that is complete. So we are going to start growing weed. And I will put another one in on this side. Again, these don't actually need to be there, like on the plantation itself. You can then adjust the area of effect. So we're going to put an upgraded material depot there, and again, a stone road that comes into here and just links everything up nicely. Then that upgraded plantation we can sort out. We've got rain, it's not toxic, so that's great. People are currently radiated, but that is fine. We will sort that out. They are drinking water that they shouldn't be drinking. And then again, we'll change this plantation to cannabis, then plant in here, going right up to that edge there, and then to here. And we'll push it a little bit further. So that goes to there, and then further up. Takes us to 100. That's great, and that kind of squares off that row of fields, so we can put some people to work in this plantation now. There we go. Right, the other thing is the water that we've got here. They need to have their resources cleaned, and we haven't yet done that. So we are going to have to sort that out. There's no food currently in Riverview. Something's gone wrong there. They have some damaged buildings. Their upgraded decontaminator needs repairing, as does the restored fish farm. Now that actually needs bricks to repair. So we're going to very quickly grab a buggy. We have one somewhere. This one will do. We'll just quickly loot the wreck that's there. That looks to have been another one of my vehicles that's just been taken out, actually. That's a shame. But we'll bring this buggy up to here. We'll trade out some bricks. Actually, no, it's going to go over here and trade out bricks from the iron wall. And their food is dwindling. Let's have a look at what they've got in terms of production here in Riverview. It's the fish farm, really, because they're not able to get enough water. The jetty also needs repairing, and that needs iron tools, which we don't have access to. So what we'll do is we'll have this buggy, actually. It's almost at my main settlement, so we'll bring it in very quickly. The nihilists are arriving. They're just kind of going for a little look. So we'll drop off this stuff. Then we will take... what did we need? We needed iron tools and bricks. Now, I'm not going to take bricks from there, though. We're going to go drop off these iron tools at Riverview first, then hopefully it'll be safe and we can continue building here. Now, as it's getting dark, we are going to have a quick look over here at our trades and crafts. We're going to build a brickworks, and that will go here. Yes, of course, it eats into the farmland again, but I'm okay with that. Then we want an upgraded charcoal kiln, which also needs to be near wood production. And this actually needs to be, so the brickworks here needs to be next to coal production. So that needs to happen in this location. So we'll put that there. Then we also, for the coal, we need to be near a wood cutter. So we'll put a wood cutting lodge across the road here. Then we will add in a tree nursery just to replenish the stocks. We'll have the tree nursery work in this area here, and we'll also have the woodcutters work in this area here as well. Then we want to build a upgraded material depot, and that's just going to tuck in that location there. We'll put a road in that links it all up. So we kind of want this to go around the back a little bit, I guess. So that can come down to here, like that. And this one is just going to go to here. Then people can now go to work in the clay pit. But we also need to construct some tools. Now, I don't really want to do anything in this space. I'd like to keep a nice area in between my housing. So I'm actually going to put the road to there. Then we'll demolish this road. Yeah, perfect. Right, so tree nursery. 2 people are going to work there. Then we're just going to have a quick look at what else we can do. That's done. Charcoal kiln is up and running, and the upgraded material depot will be able to take all of the stuff that it uses. Over here as well, then, what we can do is we can start producing some tools, I guess. So if we have a quick look at our industry, trades and crafts again, and we want to look at upgraded workshops, it needs to be near wood and scrap production, and the iron ones need to be near an iron mine. So we can't really produce iron tools here. So we're not going to, because we don't have an iron mine, and we don't have anything that we could possibly use for that. We can, though, go near wood and scrap. Now, if I have a little look here and move some things around, we've got wood production there. And this doesn't actually generate any pollution, but I didn't want to go into this space here. So to be near wood, we kind of need this space here, which means we'd have to move that upgraded material depot. So looking at this again, I can't really fit it there. I can fit it if I get rid of the road, I can fit it there. So if we get rid of, again, I know I've just put these in, we get rid of them, then we can just adjust the road a little bit. Wood cutting lodge and a tree nursery, so it's not going to take us too long to put it back in. And actually, I don't want a wood cutting lodge, I want an upgraded lumberjack hut. So that'll go there. Then the tree nursery will go next to it, like that. Then we can demolish this road, like that. And we can add in our, where is it? Industry, trades and crafts, upgraded workshop. And that workshop will just sit right there. It'll be next to wood. It needs to be next to scrap next. So with our scrapping, we want to go to raw materials. We want to build a scrapyard. We're going to put this in right here on the edge. It is still going to be in range. And that scrapper needs some recycling materials. So we're going to, once again, we'll build a recycling center right there. I am going to just quickly move that scrapyard so it kind of backs out onto the edge of that. And then I should be able to fit the recycling center in right there. Perfect. Then our tree nursery is going to change its area to here, which might seem a bit weird, but go with it. And then we'll put the upgraded lumberjack lodge in that space as well. Perfect. Right, we haven't actually assigned any jobs yet, but I'm quite happy to just let that go. And then because of this upgraded plantation, we're going to have a look at the farms again. So we are going to build a new farm. I think that might be a good thing to put in here. We can put an upgraded farm and we'll stick it right on the edge here. And that farm will just pick up these residual things, unless we have a look at the plantations that we've got, because this might be a place where we can put in some natural latex or something like that, because it's not really something that we're going to be harvesting down here, but it would still be good to have it because we can then have a little bit of surplus. So I reckon, yes, that's what we're going to do. So this upgraded plantation, it's going to look a bit strange. We are going to put it here. So it is eating away at our farmland. Let's just put it in anyway. Then we'll change its area to here. That's going to allow us to plant the farmland all in this area and fill up as much of that space as possible. We've got a water shortage over there as well. Riverview is getting hammered at this moment in time. We do need to be very, very mindful of that. So food and water not looking good at all. We'll dump that stuff in there. That should get some repairs done. What else? It's largely because of the damaged buildings. We need bricks there. We need... That's getting repaired, so that's good. The recycling center, that needs bricks as well. And the decontaminator is being repaired. So I think we've managed okay, just... Got radiated settlers there. They've got no food. So we'll head over here to the iron wall and pick up some bricks. Great. Now then, this is done now. So we'll change this. I think we'll keep it as fiber because we do need the fiber for the weaving mill. So let's just leave it at that. We'll put a little swatch there. We'll fill in these couple of empty spaces, and then we'll start pushing forward with this plantation. So it can come up to here and then filling in again. That's great. That gets us to 96, and then 4 more in there. Good. Right, so this plantation is up and running, and we have our brickworks, our clay pit, and a nice little production area there with tools and stuff put in place. Tree nursery is going. Yeah, that's good. That's decent. Right, okay, so next, we need to have a look at what we want to do in terms of creating clothing and farming latex, as well as hops for our beer production. So if we have a look at our community buildings, over here where we have our brewery does need to be near water and hops. So this space I'd quite like to reserve for, if we have a quick look at the soil types, you can see we don't have a lot of space left there or there, but we've got a large field over here. So I think we do hops production here now, and then the rest of that space can be reserved for things like latex and rubber creation and stuff like that, because the vulcanizer has a large footprint, so it does kind of need to be over there. So we'll make hops here, which will help us create beer. So we need another upgraded plantation. This one is going to go here, and then I think I can fit one final one in, and I'll put that one here. Then we can run a road again. I just want to box things off, really. So we'll have this road go to here. This road will continue on then, so we can demolish that adjoining section there. And maybe we could have changed that farm and had it in a different area, but for now we'll leave it as it is. We are building this plantation, and we have another one there. So these two plantations are both going to produce hops, which will give us plenty of stuff to produce beer with. Then I can put the brewery right next to it. So going to the community building here, building a brewery. And actually, if we get this right, it should go near water. Oh, there's no water production there. That's why it can't go there. So if we put a well in, an upgraded well in that location there, then build our brewery right here, we'll be brewing beer in no time. Perfect. And this upgraded farm, I am going to demolish it. We are going to rebuild it. Again, this is the time where we make things look pretty. So I have absolutely no problem with doing this. We need to make sure it's done and done correctly. So that's going in again. We know that our food source is going to be here, and the brewery's up and running. This plantation, we're just going to slow things down. We're going to change our seed here to hops. We're going to change its area to here. Then we are going to dig out a massive hops farm over here. We have a drought somewhere, not quite sure where it is. That takes us up to 72 and 100. Perfect. So this upgraded plantation is now going to start producing hops. We've got a well. We'll add that in. This farm is not quite built. We'll just speed up again. Perfect. Changing our seed to lupine and planting. And we just know that's going to be 100. That's in. And our food issue is sorted once we get some people working there. Perfect. Right. Water. The drought is here. This could potentially be disastrous. Right. Let's get these guys. We're going to head up to Cinders, which has a absolute ton of water. And we're going to take as much water as we can from Cinders. And food, really. Otherwise, Newtown is really going to suffer. Then, we've got that plantation. We've planted all of our hops there. This plantation is now completed as well, so we'll change that to hops, and we will make sure that the area of effect is adjusted. Then we'll plant our seeds. Again, we're going up to here and to here. And I reckon, actually, if we just change that area just a touch so that it covers there, we can now plant in this location as well. Takes us to 96. I'll go... The last 4 are going to go there. Then I can probably squeeze in one more farm. So one more hops farm might be a good idea. Or we could do another final upgraded farm for food. Now, I do have a scrapper that's set up, and I've still got some scrap here. So let's have a look. We've got the upgraded workshop, plantation there, scrapyard there. So we'll move our scrappers into this location. max it out. That is done. Great. We are making some real progress here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump ahead. I'm going to kind of finish everything off, and then I'll give you a little tour at the end. So I will see you then. You've got the basic gist of everything that we're trying to do. It's just taking us a bit longer than I would have expected. So we finished a complete redevelopment here in Newtown, and I also went ahead and redeveloped all of my other towns, and they're pretty much self-sufficient now. They're all being able to kind of do stuff. They're producing electricity. You can see here Newtown is sprawling. There's loads here. And I'm really proud of how it looks now. We've got a lot of power being produced here and a lot of goods being kind of overproduced, which is really good. You can see right here, we've got lots going on. Paper's starting to drop a little bit, which is something that we're going to have to pay attention to, mainly because of the way that the population is in this state of flux, where sometimes we'll have 50 children, so the schools are fine. But at the minute, this school is full, and our education is kind of suffering because of it. As you can see, we've only got 78% of our children in education. Over in Malays, things are looking good apart from the contaminated resources. We're going to sort that out, but you can see here it's looking pretty good. It's certainly a lot happier, and the citizens are starting, I mean, their health is dropping, but we're starting to get like a nice production of medicine going, which will help things out. Over in Crimson Canyon, everything looking good over here. It did, again, get a redevelopment, so things are running a lot smoother now. We're producing a lot of electricity, which is great, and we might actually then feed that into the wider network, getting it transported across the bridge if we can. Then looking at Medici, this had a big overhaul because it's such a small and compact space. There's a lot to kind of work with here, but we are able to do it where, you know, we're transporting activated carbon masks around as well, which is really good, from multiple settlements, might I add, and that's really helping things out too. So that's looking good. Over in Riverview, we did redevelop that, and again, for a small settlement, that seems to have come out quite well, and things are starting to improve there too. And finally, if we have a quick look over, activated carbon masks over there might be an issue. Over at the Iron Wall, things are looking good. Now, I'm sure, I might have to check this, but I definitely had an iron mine there, and when I deleted it, it has vanished altogether. So the resource is no longer there, which is a bit of a shame, because we now only have one iron mine, and it's not going to produce enough in terms of iron tools and stuff, so we may have to continue like a nice bit of trading with our settlers and our trader down here in the form of Rusty Rolf. The only place that actually needs iron tools on a regular basis is Medici for the restored iodine mine, and then I guess we do have iodine here, and also lead. I think lead, actually, if we want to get this lead mine up and running again, that needs iron tools as well. So that's something that we'll definitely need to pay attention to, making sure that we have that stocked up. The other thing is the decontamination kits. We're probably not going to be producing a great deal of those at the moment. Obviously, we don't have access to any more iodine than the one that's in here. We've got lead over here, but again, that is not a major thing. We can manage, to be fair, if we are able to keep the radiation level down. We never need that advanced radiation protection in the form of the lead vests, so that's okay. Riverview looking good, Iron Wall looking good. The one unfortunate casualty of this all was cinders, our kind of major hub that's going to be eventually, which every settler left because the happiness got down to 0. So next episode, we are going to do some exploring in Zone 3, and then we'll tackle cinders. One last thing I'm going to do off cam, because we've taken quite a few hits here with the raids that have happened. I mean, I think this is about 50 or 60 seasons that I've done to redevelop this. We're going to have to produce some more vehicles, so we'll get some nomads on the go immediately. I can queue up one of them, but then I need iron tools, but thankfully we can just go and grab a bunch from the Iron Wall. Once that's done and we get more settlements built, I do plan 3 new settlements to finish this whole thing off. So we've got settlements here, here and here to build, and that'll get us a footing in Zone 3. We've now got 7 settlements on the go. We'll upgrade that to 10 eventually, but the next step is to explore Zone 3. So that's going to be next episode. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you for the next one. Thanks again, and bye-bye.